again, amazing that we have like the accessibility to learn about these things in such an easy way. But unfortunately, I think a lot of people don't use discernment to see like, who is this person that's putting out this content? What's their life experience? What's their potential bias on the situation? Because we don't get that context on social media. Do they have any training or anything? What's the context behind it? And maybe I can look at some other opinions. Most of us don't use social media like that to actually like go through and fact check or to look at the nuance and other
Research.
perspective. Yeah, to actually research the issue that you're looking into. And so great that it's available, but the lack of discernment I think is a big issue. And also, and we've talked about this on previous episodes, you have like a very short window of time to get your point across. And so even the people who are qualified and who maybe have that doctorate and are like amazing people and providers, they have such a short amount of time to get their point across. And so it's like, this example here of like, if you do these three things, you probably have fill in the blank diagnosis, right? PTSD, anxiety, OCD, whatever it is. And so and I'm probably guilty of that too on my own page of like, here's a list of potential things, and if this resonates with you, follow me for more information, right? And so it's
Absolutely.
a quick
Same.
way. Yeah, it's a super quick way, and unfortunately it's like really kind of the only way to reach people if you're trying to subscribe to or work with the algorithm, right? And so using discernment to be able to look at that information and not to use that to self-diagnose, to label yourself, to take it on as your identity just because so and so influencer said it, to use it as like a replacement for therapy of like, oh, okay, now I know that this account talks about this thing and I probably have this diagnosis and they're going to give me a few skills to use every once in a while. Like that will never, ever replace sitting in a room with someone, or I guess at this point doing like telehealth therapy, if that's something that is more accessible for people, where someone is actually going to get to know you and your situation, the context in which you live in, and to work with you in a way that's going to be individualized. And so that's part of the issue here, is just like the oversimplification. Most people don't use social media in a way of like doing the research and discernment. And so that's where things get a little dicey on social media for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of like once we identify with something, it's like, oh, there it is. And we can like box it up, and it feels safe for our brains, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so totally understanding that like this is not like there's no fault in how we are engaging as humans with it.
Mm-hmm.
But having the conversation, and like the only way we can ever like approach something differently or try to be different, right, is to have the awareness. And so I think that like that's one of our hopes from this episode, is to kind of help people maybe just again like just consider some of this, and not to say that like you guys could listen to this and be like, I don't resonate with any of this, I find this incredibly uncomfortable or like problematic or whatever, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's space for that, and we don't think you should take everything we say as like Bible, as like this is factual, right? We're just like bringing in these perspectives as people who are part of that community. Like, oh my gosh, there have been so many things I've made that's like, if you do this, this, and this, or if you whatever, like you're codependent or you have low self-worth. And I don't know that. I don't know the people watching my videos who resonate with that. Like, I don't know the whole context of their lives.
Mm-hmm.
I actually don't know most of them at all. And so, it's an interesting thing I think this is also like why initially, like we've talked about before, we created a podcast, because we hope to find like the people that do resonate with this, but be able to give more context than the 3-second to whatever second video, to actually like really help people connect on a deeper level and understand on a deeper level than just like the TikTok that's like, okay, let's be real, designed like the way that the algorithm works and the way that like engagement works is like, people are not going to engage with the boring factual, like long drug out right? Like reality, they're
Yeah.
going to engage with the thing that like either really, really resonates, sparks fear, or
Yep.
sparks like a discomfort or controversial experience for them, the
Hmm.
thought provoking thing. And we have 10 seconds at most to really get that across. And so a lot of content is quite, you know,
Hmm.
it's sort of meant to do that, like to kind of create confusion.